even if it means buying a new one apparently. And it's going to have automatic cargo loading. It didn't complain at me this time. I have high hopes. How high are my hopes? It's loaded 1 cow, 2 cows. Excellent. 3 cows. I have no idea what was different or wrong before. Maybe I had set it such that it had said waypoint 1, waypoint 2 were on the same track, but even still, it was going here to waypoint 1 to Boston. It should have picked up. Anyway, demand for imported good has been reduced because it has reached the maximum stock level. I think that's to be expected. What I also need to do, so as well as setting up a freight line between Albany and Boston, is probably to set up a freight line up here, which, as we were discussing earlier, is difficult. So maybe I ignore that. Maybe I ignore that. I mean, not entirely or forever, just for now, you know. Or maybe I shouldn't. Or if I do, it means messing up with this Steven stop again. Go on, let's be adventurous, shall we? Adventurous and breaking the game. So it's like a parallel thing, but actually it's going to go to here. How are you going to do that? You're going to build a tunnel. Well, that seems like a terrible idea. I mean, it's definitely one way to do it. Not the way that I think you should do it. You need a bit more space to understand what's going on. So, like, yeah, you can have that be parallel. And then I have no idea why that's sunk into the ground. Ooh, that is horrible. So you you can make that parallel. Is that using the same track? Yes. Interesting. I'm not sure that's the best thing to do. And maybe even as well, you'd want to do that. So it's parallel there. I mean, that's not great in terms of the height. So you could make it a bridge. Is this really going to work? I mean, apart from this being horrible. I mean, maybe I could move this further down. I mean, we don't want that to be too slow. But also, if I'm going to have a big grid iron, then I think it needs to be long. Yeah, and the shorter that bit is, or the closer it is, then it needs to be steeper. I mean, it's still like a million. If you're just joining, what I've got is a bit of an ugly situation because I'm a noob at the game. We have Portland, we have Boston, and we have Stevens Stop. Now, this is just freight. There's a 2-line connection here into Boston. And there was a 2-line express line for passengers and mail between Boston and Portland. And someone who's not very clever, that's me by the way, forgot that maybe when building all this that you'd want to have like some freight going between Portland and Boston. So I'm now trying to work out how I connect in those Portland tracks. into 3 and 4, maybe like over here. So I need to somehow have a parallel line which then crosses over. That's going to be shared track and horrible. And then, yeah, deviates off. And I don't know if any of this will work. So if you know the game, let me know. Because I don't know. I mean, I could just try it. I could try it for all of us. For all of our sakes. See, does this work? And if it does, then... yeah. I'm just not convinced that this is going to work very well. Maybe instead of this, what I should do is create a different line which comes from these two and comes into these two stations here, and then redirect the line up at this point so that it definitely uses those tracks, and then these ones will be a bit more free at that point to deviate off and go back up there. Let's try that instead. So we're going to come off and have a parallel track from that point. And that can sit into the station. I also, being new to the game, don't know if it should be that or if it should be that. Like, I obviously need, maybe I need both. Because I need to get from that one across to this one. Yes, I need both, don't I? So can I... if I do that... no, it doesn't like it. But I also can't extend it out. Okay, and I should make this as short as possible for the mats. Fine. So I could build that. Go on. And yes, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then we want to do like the same thing. Well, let's say that you go at least that far. And then I could have you just join in up there. And then from there you could join in. But that's then on the curve, that hits that building. Okay. Remove track points, shift. So this needs to be maybe further back. Like here. And then that can join in? No. Oh, the mess. What hell is this? Right. Would it push it out the way? It's blocked. It's blocked by the building. In that situation, until you go past it, and then it just will push it out. Because that'll be okay, I think. But if you do that, put it on the curve. 2% incline. That's not very good. Oh well. So I could have that. Is it hideous? Yes, it's very hideous. Is it going to work? I don't know. I really do not know. Well, I suppose they're both connecting to the inner track. So we need a connection which brings, at least before that point. So I assume this works. I assume incorrectly. How do I join two tracks? Like that. It is like that. It just won't. Like, that's fine. That's obviously not. Clearly don't try that. Stop trying to try that. But that's way too slow. Oh dear. So this is the point where that one merges. So I need 85, and then it just stops working. Oh, because of the thing. I can't go... That's being blocked by... This track section is too close to an existing track. Is it now? Fine. Well, you're just going to have a top speed of 84. 86. Gone. Okay. Well, that is just awful. Awful, awful, awful. Let's see if we can get our current route using that awful bit of track. Has it been playing this whole time whilst I've been doing that? Right, you. Let's edit the line. So now we're going to add in the waypoints, and we're going to make it ever so confusing. So you're going to start at Stephen's stop. You are going to come along this line. In fact, no, before we do this, I think... Yeah, confirm. Or, like, don't confirm that I want to not confirm. No, wait, confirm that I don't want to confirm. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to pause as well. We need to maybe set track directions. So this one is going to go that way. This one is going to go that way. And that one as well. Can I change that? No. That's, you can't change that one. You can click on it, but you can't change it. I'm assuming it's going to be smart enough to work itself out. Like this one. No. Because there's like this tiny bit in the middle here. Oh, don't right click now. I'm hoping it's going to work itself out. Okay, so then if we edit this line, our first waypoint is going to be on the way out, and then it's going to come down onto this track. It is not going to come onto this track. You cannot add... I didn't put a gridiron down. I mean, I know I didn't, but do I need to? Track gridiron. I could also make that a four-way gridiron, but then that defeats the point. I want these to be separate, really. I don't want them to be able to interchange that much. Because gridiron is also only for the station. Okay. Edit this line. So I could make that the waypoint one, so it knows to go onto that track. Obviously it's going to use this outbound track. Maybe it's not obvious. Let's delete that. See, can we click there? We can. Can we click here? We can. Then you're going to go into Boston. Then you're going to come out on this one. And then you're going to go and make sure you hit that one. Confirm. Right, let's watch that. See what it does. We can even center the train, ride along with it. Well, what do we want to do? Any votes as to centering the train, which just will follow it, obviously through the trees. Or we can ride along. And we can pretend that we are train nerds. And we can look at the train. We can say hello to the guy from Call of Duty, assuming it's still him. Yeah, it's still the guy from Call of Duty. Do you think? No Russian? I don't know. It looks like that guy. Maybe I just can't remember what that guy looks like. Maybe it's just because it's the dead eyes of characters who never blink. Do you think he's going to blink? Just wait for it. Anyway, this is maybe not what train lovers like to look at. They don't really tend to like looking at the stoker. Or is he the engineer? I guess he's the engineer, because he's got a hat on. This guy looks a lot dirtier. Anyway. How do I... Yeah, it's slightly better view of the train. This is the very close-up version of watching your train take the right track. So this is the point where there's 3, and it splits into 4. So he's currently on the right track, and by that I mean the leftmost track. And we can blow the horn as well whilst we're waiting for it to make the journey. I mean, I'm impressed that it's working so far. Maybe I could speed it up, but... Well, it's just coming into Boston now. I hope this is Boston. I hope that train wasn't waiting too long. What was that train? Don't worry, we will be getting back to the track soon. There just was another thing in the station, wasn't there? What are you? Can I not click on the actual train? No, that would be... That's the Albany to Boston, which is being serviced. Okay, I just was a bit worried. And I suppose because they share the track, is that a problem? Like, this train is coming in, obviously it's chosen this part of the station. Anyway, have I missed the train going out? No. It's still here. Waypoint 3. I suppose it was just taking its time unloading the cargo. Right, which way are you going to go out? You're switching onto this one, which is a good start. Are we going to ride along? It's also empty, which I suppose is what we expected. Move. No, it's not what I wanted. Ride along, please. Thank you. And... choo-choo. Right, so we want it to come across here, and then to go across to there. Good start. Better finish. Okay. I understand that I made a mess, but maybe I've started making amends by making it only half ugly. We just have to finish making that mess by joining up Portland. What else was I supposed to do on this task list, by the way? Deliver 8 loads of lumber. Right. Before June. And it's given me a hint that I should maybe prioritize the lumber. But as far as the stock is concerned, I mean, they're more worried about the beef, the livestock. Go on, just for the quest. Just because it's probably there to teach me. I think it's on here. If we edit the rail line, we can push the priority of that up. That's what it wanted us to do before. I'm hoping that was mid-journey. It's not going to actually stop. Where is that train? Center? Or maybe it's good because it made it get there quicker. Train completed last tour without freight. Who are you? What are you doing? Davis Terminal. Okay. That's fine, because they just don't want sugar. I mean, you're losing me money, though. How do I... maybe... Well, I don't have the freight line that goes up. That's fine. Also, this has sugar on the way, so it's really stupid to take sugar from down here and take it all the way up there when they have one that's quite close. I should just be creating a freight line from Davis Terminal to Albany, which is part of my plan, because I will be joining up a freight line between Albany and Boston, and that will be a stop in the middle of that line. Do I want it losing me money? I think my first thing that I want to do now is to join up these tracks. Because, you know, I've already started making this mess. Let's finish this mess. So we come to about here, and we hop across. Maybe. Or, like... Yeah, that's ugly. I suppose the later I do it, the better it is. I mean, I could do it up here, because I'm not going to be using the track up there. But this is a better route. Let's just try clicking there and then hopping across. Doesn't really enjoy it too much, does it? Because then if I do that and do that, it's too short. Can't start or end in the gridiron. Okay, so yes, that's too close. So I could still do it higher up though. It's quite steep. That's not too bad. So I could do that and then join in. So I could have that. The question is, could I put a track next to it? Because I'll need to come from here across to this track and then for that to deviate out again. Well, let's try it. Let us try. If we fail, then such is life. And train building, apparently. So that can come all the way down there. But should probably... Maybe needs to deviate off sooner. That's a 4% gradient. Really? In that short amount of space? So maybe it does need to come across sooner. Let's remove that. Like, what about at that point? Still 3%. 2%. Is 2% that bad? I don't know. Can we make it better? Like, I don't need to spare this land in the middle. What am I, an environmentalist? Or, you know, someone who loves the planet? I mean, a little bit of both, but this is a game, so... You know, we're just trying to do the best we can with the resources that we have. That is exactly the same. That's fine. We'll go with that. Assuming that I can build across from there to there, which I don't think I will be able to do. So maybe before I do this, I need to build that little bit of track. I can't... It'd be nice if you could just save it, but I guess you can't. So, from here, we want to join across to there. 2% max. Max speed. Okay. Fine, build that. And then from there, that seems to be okay. And then you can just go all the way up here. Okay, I think we're making progress. I mean, we're definitely making ugly tracks, but we are maybe making progress with our ugly tracks. Perhaps. Okay. We have the tracks. Next up, give them directions. And just to fit, because this one is coming in, it should be coming in that way, and that one should be going out that way. It even gave me a helpful triangle, which is nice of it. I still... Oh no, that one I can click on. But that's the wrong way. Maybe that one needs to be both ways? Oh no, now it can't stop. Oh, I don't know. How do I undo that? Change track direction. Yeah, but remove it. Remove track direction. If you want multiple trains to use the same tracks, you need to define track directions. Trains don't block each other. Fine. Okay. Well, hopefully that doesn't cause a big spanner. I have a feeling this is going to cause a big spanner. What? Well, obviously you're not going to be able to use a bit of track which has dead ends in the middle of it. Who thinks this is useful? That's a big cone. Right, it's you. if I... Inside Hero, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining and for chatting. Sorry for your bad English and German. No, don't worry about it. It's my German is much worse than your English is, so hallo, wie geht's? There isn't much more to come, don't worry. I'm assuming you may be about to provide some wisdom as to what is going on here. And if I just ruined it by doing that, maybe I just need to demolish that track. If I demolish it, maybe I'll be able to recreate it. But it's... it's the whole thing. Or like, it's part of that line. Maybe that's why. If I do that... wait. No, it doesn't let me do that. That sounded well. Oh, you mean my German? I took it in school. I know some various sentences. Not enough to actually communicate very well. Why the full trails from Wood to Boston? Aha. So maybe you missed it when I was originally explaining what we were doing. The problem wasn't really that we didn't have enough wood. The problem was that I originally used these two tracks to go from the wood place to Boston. And I decided after that to use these two tracks to take the passengers and mail to go up to, what's this called? Portland. And then I decided I wanted to have freight also go from Portland to Boston, but on different tracks, because that's the way the tutorial teaches you. And so I was in a bit of trouble, because to then have 4 tracks going up this way, I needed the 2 from here, not to use these 2 in the station, but to use these 2 in the station. So what I've just done beforehand is not really use 4 tracks, but I just shifted these onto their own track here. So this bit's kind of unused. This bit here, obviously this bit up here is used. However, I'm now trying to do the rest of it, which is to bring this in. And I've done the track. I'm now just looking at the track thinking, that's not going to work. Like, in theory, what I've done makes sense and it should work, because this connects into this connects into this, so that goes up on there, and this all connects into that one. So, you know, this line up here is connected in to here, and this line here connects in to here. I'm just trying to work out how much I should worry about the fact that it's got stoppers in the middle of my track. And I suppose the only way to work to really see if that's a problem is to maybe try and create a line. So we're going to try it. We're going to click on Boston. We're going to say your waypoint is here, but then here. No. Is that going to go all the way to this station, all the way back? I think that's what it's saying. Let's cancel. Go on that one. That's kind of the wrong way, actually. So go out on one, go to Portland, and then come back on 2. How does that sound? I mean, it has the lines drawn. Presumably, that's a success. And it has the gridiron, so it can choose either of the 2 tracks. We want this to be freight. So yeah, we'll choose freight. And yes, only to load freight. As far as you don't have any express trains at this point of the game, you don't really need to separate it from goods. What I try and mostly do is to use the outer left and right 2 tracks for goods, and the inner 4 ones for express. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. A bit hard at the beginning of the map, but works out nicely later. Interesting. Yeah, this is my first map past the tutorial. Thank you for the advice. Clearly, maybe I can't follow that now. But maybe next time I will try. What I was trying to do, trying to only enter the station of Bangor to turn around. Why is it going to Bangor? Okay, well. Oh right, because I don't have a gridiron? I don't have a gridiron. Okay. Exodus mode. What I was trying to do was, you know, if you're going south, so this one is obviously going south, so I'd use these ones. If it was going like north, then you'd use these ones, but then you don't really know where stuff is going. So like here in Davis Terminal, I chose not to use these 2 tracks because I thought maybe, even though this time I decided not to go through this kind of hill area, maybe next time I would go through the hill area. So I kind of chose the middle 2, or like 3 and 4, to come down and around here and up this way. And maybe later on, if I need them, I could have 5 and 6, you know, joining up with New York City. Or even 7 and 8 doing that, and 5 and 6 going off down here. But it really is, you know, you have to try and plan ahead, but also maybe it isn't worth worrying too much, and yeah, everything's going to be a mess eventually. You're not a pro, but that's how you do. I had massive problems with waypoints and several routes on this map that really pissed you. Yeah. Like I say, it's it's a game about logistics, right? So you'll probably never get it right the first time. And if you want it to be perfect, maybe the correct thing to do is you click this button and you start demolishing stuff. But I don't know. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yes, we needed gridirons. On these 2 tracks. It won't let me place gridirons here. Choose parallel tracks. Are these not parallel tracks? I mean, they're next to each other and they're kind of parallel. Oh, come on. Come on, game. Right, are they parallel at this end? I mean, they were already set up as... They already have that gate there. So, it doesn't think these are parallel tracks. How can I make tracks parallel? Because I thought I made them parallel. They're not though, are they? Right, so maybe it's free to demolish that track? I don't know. Oh, got rid of everything. Anyway, okay, so that comes across to here. Right. That is... It says parallel. And it says the cost of parallel tracks is 24. Right, and then this section... Yeah, it's just the parallel tracks cost that's going up. Okay, happy with all that. But it... Again, still parallel track cost. It doesn't seem to have extended that so far. And then here... Well, let's maybe do one out from the station, just so it knows, hey, we're doing parallel tracks. And then now, It's got the parallel track symbol. Most of it's parallel track. If I go to build the station gridiron, right. So I don't know what happened before. The game just wanted to annoy me. That's what happened before. Cool. So we have a gridiron. In fact, that track, we're not going to do it right this second. But we will extend it up to Bangor. So we now need to... That rail line that I had a second ago... Oh no, I didn't actually create it. Fine. So we're going to go to Boston. We're going to choose that as the outbound. So it chooses the right track. Then that's the inbound. And it's no longer going all the way up to Bangor. I know you provided the good tip that it doesn't need to be freight, but let's... I already started on this long journey, so we might as well make it freight. And we are going to confirm your train line runs on long sections without direction and track with direction. Right, because I gave that track. I mean, I'd like you to just hold it there. Fine, I'll go do it again in a second. It'd be nice if you had the option to change things whilst in the menu. Yeah, because I added in this new track, it needs to be told again. Or I redid the track because of the game. Anyway, so we'll add in that line again. Waypoint, Portland, and then the waypoint down here. The one locomotive freight. Make it so, and we hit play, and it's moving. Do you have any freight on you? No. I have created a freight route with no need for freight. I am a massive pro. They both create meat, don't they? The real benefit, I guess, of this route is to take any spare lumber or livestock. But that's only going to happen when this fills up on livestock. So what I really need to do is to extend the route up here. What's going on? Breakdown maintenance. Oh, maintenance needed. Because I added a maintenance in Boston and Albany, but I have not added maintenance in... Like, there's a route that does that. So you can have a maintenance. Oh no, not city building. Oh yeah, you have cloth, so I definitely want to get you out of there. What do? We click on the station. And we get an extension and we say, yes, we'll have a maintenance depot. Which isn't efficient. So if it's broken down, is it gonna... What happens now? Will it get fixed because I've now added in the maintenance depot, or is it just doomed? Do I have to remove maintenance needed? No, I accept that. Bonus for a new connection. It takes some time to fix it. Cool. But it will do it on its own. Like, it's the same with this.
Good. What we're doing here really has the potential to revolutionize the way we have been transporting goods up till now.
Revolutionizing. So what else do we have to do? 320 passengers without changing trains from Boston to Portland. I mean, would you be changing trains? It's very short. Anyway, I think I should be on track to doing that. Oh yeah, 243. So that's good. And the other task then, by June of next year, to reach 25,000 citizens in Boston, and they demand beer, apparently. So, do they really? I mean, most people demand beer, so it's not really a surprise. They demand beer and cloth, but they already have the cloth. That's fine. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like, and if you think you would enjoy more, then please subscribe, or even join me live on Twitch. Whilst it's cliche, all of these will help the channel. On screen is something carefully curated, or something the YouTube algorithm suggests, or maybe even both. In any case, have a great day.